Hello folks, welcome back to Final Fantasy VII, and we are all ready, as you probably know if you've been watching the previous episode, to defeat Sephiroth. At least that's the idea, but there's a couple of optional things I want us to do before we do so, and the first one is to retrieve Vincent's ultimate weapon, and make sure Vincent's in your party before you try and do this. And go back to the cave where we saw Lucia earlier on in the story. And so long as you did that in this too, and Vincent is in your party now, you should get a little bit of a cutscene and receive the death penalty, which is Vincent's best weapon in the game, along with Chaos, which is his limit level 4 break. So not a bad trip. But if you can't get that, it probably means you didn't visit the area in this too when I told you to do so you can't blame me for that. But that's the first thing. Okay, so the second thing I want to show you in this video is defeating Ruby Weapon. He's one of the optional creatures that have been added into the international version of the game. Now, I'm not going to use the standard Knights of the Round tactic since I find that a little bit boring. So what I'm going to do is the counter-attack tactic. The problem with this is it does take a lot of preparation, which I am going to explain to you momentarily. But for now, you want to start by casting Dazers on Ruby Weapon. Make sure you use the W item trick to get a lot of them. And make sure you also enter the battle with the maximum amount of hero drinks, elixirs, and all that good stuff. I would also advise you max out Cloud's stats by using the W item trick on the source items. You can only do it by morphing enemies since they're only a battle item. You can't use them from the menu. But try and get his speed and luck and strength maxed out. So long as you do that, then this battle shouldn't be too difficult. As you can see, Cloud is counter-attacking, and the basic gist of this strategy is to ensure that you have about 8 counter-attack materials equipped, along with the W item materia, the maxed out double cut materia, amongst some other stuff as well. Try and keep Cloud's health high since that's how he's going to do most of his damage when you equip his ultimate weapon. If he doesn't have max hit points, then his damage isn't going to be so great. Now, you want to cast about 6 hero drinks. I think there is a limit to the amount you can do. So that's why I'm going to keep casting Dazers, just to ensure that Ruby Weapon doesn't interrupt me while I'm powering Cloud up. As you can see, with a high luck stat, about half of Cloud's hits are criticals, which means that an average counter-attack round will do about 60,000 points of damage, not too bad at all. This boss has around 800k hit points in total, so we're going to go for one last bout of hero drinks, and then we're going to kick straight into the main battle, by which point Ruby Weapon will probably already have dropped about 10 to 15% of his hit points anyway, so that's not too bad at all. The other good thing about this is you don't need to worry too much about your magic points, since none of the abilities apart from one cast of Big Guard, which you don't have to do, but I'm going to just because it casts haste on us, actually use magic points. So again, we'll throw Big Guard, and with a high speed or high dex spell, we should actually find ourselves doing a substantial amount of damage in quite little time now. If you watch my battle bar, and I haven't even got battle speed set on the fastest, you'll see that it shoots up quite quickly, and that's important in this fight. The good thing is most of Ruby Weapon's attacks will do very little damage. The only thing you need to be wary of is the physical attack by the one tentacle, which works on a percentage based damage, which is this one. So I could probably do with throwing a heal on Cloud, else his attacks aren't going to do much. And Ruby Weapon might counter attack with a Ruby Flame or a Ruby Ray, but with this amount of hero drinks, then nothing you need to worry about. So when we get the opportunity to actually attack, Oh, and that tentacle can't kill you, so don't worry too much about that. So we'll do that and that. And here comes Ruby Flame. And even though I've only got 300 health, we should be okay. There you go, look, 5 damage. Now, unfortunately, counter-attack isn't going to do too much damage here, because of the fact that Cloud is on low hit points. But we'll get him elixiered up. And with the dazers back on Ruby, we should be back in business. And there we go. Now I'm going to cast Omni Slash, seeing as how we got it and it's taken the place of our 4 times cut. But you don't even need it in this battle, it doesn't even do that much damage. The whole spell does about 30 to 35k. Ruby Weapon does have a naturally extremely high defense statistic. Hence the reason why you want to make sure your stats are maxed, and even when they are, you're still going to need hero drinks, or you're just not going to do anything. So Ruby Ray again, that's going to be negligible, and we're off again with the counter attacks. Hopefully we'll get a few more crits in here. As you can see, we're really dishing out the damage now. And each set of counter attacks is basically like a cast of Knight of the Round. Only it takes about a tenth of the time. So yeah, that sucked. He's going to counter-attack again, but with little damage. So we'll throw an elixir and a dazers. So once Cloud is finished with this, we should heal straight back up again. So as you can see, you can't really die with this tactic. I haven't got the final attack material equipped with Life or Phoenix or anything. And you can even revive your other characters if you want to get some AP on them at the end of the battle, but it's not essential for the fight. And here comes the crappy old Ruby Ray for like 20 points of damage or something, 17. Occasionally, Ruby Weapon can cast Ultima and Comet too. The former he usually casts in retaliation to magic spells, and the latter he's just a rare cast when the claws aren't in the ground. Look at the damage there. So that's the only annoying claw, just because of the lack of damage it makes you do. But hey, we can put up with that. The good thing is the other claw only drains your magic points, but you still counter-attack from it. There's our full recovery, and there's our dazers. Once again, we're back in the swing of things. Okay, we're going to have to use Omni Slash now. But even though it doesn't do that much damage, it's still pretty cool to look at. And Ruby Weapon will almost certainly be dead soon. So bearing in mind a battle with just Knights of the Round, where you spam it over and over using Mime, is a little bit of a riskier tactic actually. I think you're more likely to be killed with that, since you either have to drain Ruby Weapon of all his magic points, which can take a while, or you have to put up with Ultima Retaliation. And the battle also takes about 25 minutes when you do it that way, whereas this way it takes probably less than 10. And we're just critting all the time now, so that's awesome. Oh, we should stop using this claw. This battle will probably be over if you didn't actually do that. It's just annoying because we have to go through the 8 counter attacks with crap damage. But yeah, I think I've said all I can say anyway on this fight. It's just a matter of slogging it out now to the end. Nope, we want to use 4 times cut. Oh, I should just mention as well that when Ruby Weapon is paralysed, the claws can't do any damage. And there he goes. Dead easy. Dead easy. $45,000 experience and 50,000 AP. Not bad. And you get the Desert Rose, which you can hand into the Calm Traveller for an interesting gold chocobo, in fact. But you probably won't need that at this point, and it's crap in the races as well. But that's ruby weapon for you, and there is another weapon that we're about to defeat next, so I'm just going to prepare for that and get right back to you. Okay, so we're going to go for emerald weapon now, and once again I don't want to go for a boring typical Knights of the Round tactic. We're going to instead go for a limit break tactic, and I'm going to use Cloud's Omni Slash limit break for this. Now the tactic I was reading on the web suggests using the Anger Max limit break from Barrett because it's such a quick break, but I think Cloud's Omni Slash is just as good. So we're going to start off by buffing Cloud up with Hero Drink, like thus. Have every character cast it, and as you can see he's trying to mime, and I'll explain why in a moment, but first we'll just get him prepped up. Emerald weapon is actually harder than ruby weapon in theory. He has more hit points, although he's made a little bit easier by the fact that he doesn't have as high a defense stat. But hero drinks are still important to reduce damage, etc, etc. So we'll get all these cast on him. It doesn't really matter too much once he's buffed up if your other characters die. Just don't cast defend on them, since Cloud will end up miming that, and we don't want that to happen at all, do we? Don't cast your first limit break until all your other characters are finished, so you don't end up miming something by mistake. And then when you're ready, and you'll know you're not going to mime anything else, you can cast Omni Slash. Now, what you have to do for this battle is a lot of preparation, basically. You have to level up 6 mime materials and 6 counter materials. That's the blue counter materials. So pair 6 blue counter materials with 6 mime materials, and every time the person who has those equipped takes damage, they will mime their limit break 6 times after casting it. Just make sure everybody else skips their turn. And when Cloud's turn, which is the person obviously I'm using, his turn comes round, I just cast mine as well. So there's our second Omni Slash. Each Omni Slash is doing about 130k points of damage. So with any luck, we shouldn't need the underwater materia, which removes the timer from this battle. And here comes Emerald Shoot for a pittance amount of damage. And now we should get a whole load of Omni Slashes without having to do anything because of our mine materials. So not only does one Omni Slash do about 1.5 times the damage of a Knights of the Round cast, it also does it a lot quicker, so that again the battle doesn't have to go on for half an hour or so. And it'll be a bonus if my other characters stay alive, although as I mentioned, it doesn't matter so much if they don't. But yeah, there's nothing else to really say about this fight. It's just a case of being patient and waiting for Omni Slash to do its thing. So I'll shut up for now. And there we have it. The defeat of Emerald Weapon. Not too challenging at all, I might say. And there's the achievements. So that's both of the hard optional bosses defeated, everyone's limit breaks collected, and everybody's ultimate weapons collected. I think the only thing left for us to do now is to go and defeat the final boss, Sephiroth, which we will do in the next episode. So thank you very much for joining me, folks. I've been Fuzzfinger, and I'll see you next time.